Howdy, Meatlotion. What's up? My software says that I am live, so I'm gonna trust it. Let me just move my window where the okay, let's take this window here and drag it onto this screen so I can see what's going on, and some chat. Mike Ruck, by the holy flaming hammer of unholy cosmic frost, I revive this chat. Okay. What else can I move around my screens? I don't think there's any need to move around anything. How many of you have already watched my Vladimir Mishev? Hello man. How many of you have already watched my small notes video? Okay, this is for later. Here? Ah, better now. Vladimir says, hi Fox. Fiox. Hi Fiox. Okay. I have some new buttons to press on the stream. Create highlight video. I have no idea what that is. Add stream marker. Okay, I think I know what that should be. Meatlotion, I got halfway through, then an advert appeared, then you started live streaming, so bailed out. I will continue after. Okay, good enough. Vladimir's not in the hurry for Emacs stuff. Actually, the video is not so much about Emacs. It's more about simplicity of taking notes, because basically what I said in the video is how I take notes, right? So I have one thing that I use on the go, and when I get home, I kind of copy what I've wrote on the go to Emacs. But Emacs is not that relevant in the whole scenario. The relevant thing is that I just use the plain and simple stuff. No special organization, no containers, no what do you call that Electron application that everyone seems to be using? Help me out. There is a super popular Electron note taking application that Diamond something. But yeah, Obsidian, yeah, Micrack, Obsidian person myself, yeah. So that's what I'm talking about. The Obsidian application is really I was going to say something good, but I'm missing a proper word. It is good and overkill for me at the same time. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to assemble here. For the entirety of my life, I have been taking notes into Notepad, like bloody Notepad. And I have always wanted to organize it and make it more complex and put some markers and colors and categories and all kinds of crap like that. And every time I try to do that, I just see myself entangled into doing stuff that literally wastes time on me. And I just go back to plain text editor, right? So I kind of found my middle ground with Emacs, which I basically use as a plain text editor, but with a tiny bit of flavor, salt and pepper on top, like marking rows as done or to do and counting a percentage, like how far am I into finishing the to-do lists, basically. Nothing fancy. Strefa, is it Strefa? Yeah, Strefa Linux, good evening from Poland. Thank you for the notes video, appreciate it. Okay, thank you. Strefa Linux. Nino Hedgie, hi, I missed live stream on LPIC 1, so I'll give you a suggestion. After you pass LPIC 1, don't stop. Pass LPIC 2 and 3 before you take Red Hat. I can give you a couple of suggestions. Nino, did you type the same thing as a comment on my live stream video on demand video? Because like 10 minutes ago I got a similar replies from someone on my video, right? I just didn't have time to read it fully because I started the live stream, but I saw a pop-up saying very similar thing that you just said. You say, so it is you. Okay, I can give you a couple of suggestions. Joplin and Node Snook are two I can remember right now, as both are free and open source. Plasma cookies in the background. Try not to look suspicious. Yes. Yeah, we are using Plasma desktop environment here. Nino. Basically, yes, I do want to go with more of the LPIC stuff before I switch to Red Hat, because they are kind of an upgrade, one on top of each other, right? So I don't mind, yeah. I not that I don't mind, but I did have this very same idea, yeah. How long will it take for... I was actually planning initially to learn this on my own pace, but I kind of got this idea to just stream it to other people and learn with others. So it might take a little bit longer, but it is all fun and games, right? And at my work, I will get some benefits for sure for having more certificates, right, regarding to my work. So that's kind of cool as well. Node Snook and Joplin are alternatives to Obsidian for node staking. There is another application that I like more. My personal gripe, or the problem, or challenge, if you will, I really don't like Electron. I avoid Electron like a plague unless I have alternatives at all, right? So what is it called? There is some application, it's called Q node staking. Let me just switch over to my to my right screen here. Q node staking, cute. I forgot the name. Cute notes. I don't think that's the one. Q notes, cute notes, Q notes, cute notes, cute note. What was the name? I completely forgot. Let me just pull the chat on the second screen or something. Let's do it like this. This could be fine. So what are you guys saying? How are you searching? I'll answer this in a second. Let me just find. Okay, let's do this. Obsidian node staking alternative, because I completely forgot the name. Joplin. Okay. Dropbox paper alternative for KD. This AI is a bit stupid. Written in Qt. It's not technically in Qt, but C++, but How is it possible that it's not giving me a proper result? Okay. Alternative for Linux then. Oh my god, what a stupid AI. Okay, let's see here. It's something with Q. How is it possible that it's not popping up on any of the results? Notes, app, Joplin, log, sec, docmost, any type, standard notes, write, xwiki, open notes, just note, organize. Okay, not here. Where are these results on this page? Here, Joplin, any type, standard notes, show more. Cherry tree, Zim, Google Keep. How strange, how strange. What's wrong with Obsidian? It's written in Electron. Stop by Max, hello, hello. Whether you consider Electron to not be a problem, that's perfectly fine. I just don't want to use anything. QO notes. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Let me go to their page. Their page. Where's the link to their page? Okay, QO notes. In my opinion, this is a proper alternative to Obsidian, not written in, not written with the Electron, right? Steph Linux, yeah. Okay, let's do that. Let's make this smaller. Okay, Pacman Q on. Is it not available as that's strange. Q on notes. That's so strange. Flatpak install Q on notes. Q on notes. System. Yes. Okay, pull everything. Q. Okay. Where's my start? Not taking a screenshot. Wrong button. Q on notes. Okay. Your Linux system seems to use the dark mode. Do you also want to turn on dark mode? Don't ask again. And yes, and it is asking me for the home folder. It can also sync with the Nextcloud, so that's nice. It will automatically go to my notes folder, so I guess that's fine. You can set minimal, full, preview only, full, vertical, single column. It has a variety of formats, whatever. QO notes will track anonymous usage data that helps to decide what parts of QO notes to improve next and to find and fix bugs. You can disable this behavior in the settings. Okay, for now. Okay, it's super large. Let me pull it down a little bit. Okay, how big was that screen? Okay. Stuff by Max says it's our package. Okay, I don't use our. I'm a very strange Arch Linux user, so I just pull from Flatpak. I don't have much to show here. I only tried it once and it seemed like a proper solution for me at the time. similar to what Obsidian can do. You can even pull the connections from one node to another one, like some kind of hyperlinks, like brainstorming, like this ties to this other node, and this node comes from the brainstorming of this node. So that was kind of fine, and of course it's plain text readable if you want it. I really don't have anything special to advertise about this software. It was fine until I realized that I don't want any particular software that I don't know. I kind of prefer Emacs because it's pretty much like a plain text reader, and I can open it through the CLI if I remote SSH into my machine or whatever. This one requires GUI, so that's a negative, and that's pretty much it. Let me just catch up with chat. Where did I stop? Plasma cookies, notes, and Joplin. Okay, Vladimir Mishev says, how are you searching through your notes? Basically, I have my notes as topics because most of my ideas are about this video channel. Okay, this video channel. So most of the time I get a random idea about what I will do or show or demonstrate in one of my future videos, and these ideas literally fall into my head completely randomly and in complete random places in my life. I get myself like why is my table hot? This is so strange. My hand? Okay, maybe my hand is hot. Like I am in a company with someone, or at my mother or at law or whatever, or maybe out and about walking in the middle of the city, and I have this idea, right? And I write it down usually in Telegram as proxy to the final destination. And I don't really use Telegram for actual notes organization, just for temporary place until I get home. And when I get home, I work on this idea a little bit more. How long? I mean, whether I have stronger idea or not, I just take it down as a file, one file for one topic. And later when I go back to this same topic, I just add to it like more ideas, and maybe I will search about something on the internet and take some links that I will want to go back to a little bit later. And I write down about what about these links are. And basically that's just one file. Another topic is a different file. So that's pretty much it. I don't really need to search because my file names are fairly simple, and I just list my folder. I mean, I can see my topics, right? If it's overcrowded, I can just list my the contents of my folder and search for a certain word if I have a lot of files, but usually there aren't too many files, because when my video is done, then I just delete the file. I don't need it anymore. That whole topic is done, and I'm done with it, and new ideas come, and new ideas happen as a new file in the folder, so I just rotate them. If it's a lot of files and someday I have no clue about what, sometimes I sit at my computer and I think, like, what do I want to record today? That happens a lot. And I just open my folder and I go like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, or, okay, I can feel this topic today. Okay, this one is something that I'm doing today. And I just go with it. And today I actually wanted to do a Ghosty topic about Ghosty, the terminal. And I have this notes that I started typing in Kate. It's not in Emacs. I just had Kate at my fingers. And when I started working on that, somehow I ended up on YouTube. Not sure what happened at that moment, and Matt's video, new one, popped up. A Linux cast, and he was talking about notes, and I was, oh, this is an interesting topic. Let's watch this. And he started to make things complicated. And instantly I dropped my ghosty topic altogether, and I just decided to do a video about notes. And that's how my today's video came about, because literally like half an hour before I published it, maybe an hour, I wasn't even planning that video, but a completely different one. So that's what it is. And I need to catch up with chat again. Brent Fraser, sorry. Okay, I can't read this. I need a bigger font, Weatherall or something like that. I started looking into some note taking again today as well. I've used Obsidian in the past, but also a really interesting one which I've gone back to is Dendron, which is a Visual Studio Code Codium extension. Okay, so about Codium extensions, this once again takes Electron into my life, and I'm really trying to get rid of everything written with the help of Electron. Currently, I have 2 applications using Electron. This is Discord. That's one that I am trying to stop using. I can't really stop use it because some of the groups that I like to participate with are Discord exclusively, so it is what it is. On that note, but then again, Matrix clients. Neko is pretty good, but then again, the original Element, right, is a lot better, and I'm currently struggling between these two because Element is Electron based, so it is what it is. Steph Linux, you told about taking notes while driving a car. I'm driving around 1.5 hours to 2 hours daily. I'm pretty similar to that amount of time. Listening to audiobooks and podcasts, ideas like a fountain, then and no good way to write them down. Strefa Linux. I'm also listening to podcasts while driving because I came to realize that driving is a really good how would I put it? A really good idle time. It's idle enough that I can concentrate on a plain podcast, and it's not complex enough for me to not be able to listen to a podcast, right? So once I tried an audiobook, and that is completely impossible while driving, because books require you to transport yourself to another world. Because I only read fiction, and that's impossible while driving. I caught myself being concentrated on my driving like 99.9% of the time, and after a couple of minutes, I realized that I wasn't even paying attention to the book, right? So I'm kind of similar to you, but when an idea pops up, I just do a voice command to my phone and ask my phone to make a short note. It doesn't have to be a detailed note. All I need is the topic to be like written down in my reminders, right? And in a couple of hours, this reminder will pop up on my phone. I will most probably be at home, or most certainly not driving anymore, so I can write it down properly. All I need is a topic, so it does not fade away, right? Nino says, if you want simpler, you can configure NeoVim for note taking. Oh yeah, I just remembered another one called Memos. Personally, I don't need simple. Emacs is fine. Evil Deeds Productions says hello there, and hello there back to Evil Deeds Production. And I apologize to all of the chat that I am being so talkative today and not reading everything immediately. How many of you are here anyway? 14? That's kind of cool. Where was I? Mike, I switched to Obsidian from Joplin, but to be honest, I'd probably just use Visual Studio Codium as an alternative if needing something free and open source software. Okay. Mike Rack, General Kenobi. Who is General Kenobi? Mike Rack, I had to. It's the love of the internet. Lol. You mean... Ah, hello there. Okay, hello there. I get it. I know of the plenty of note-taking apps, and majority of them are free and open source, says Nino. Of course, there are absolutely plenty of free and open source note-taking app. That is actually the problem that we have in this world of free and open source software. We have too many choices, and a lot of them are actually good ones. So picking the perfect one is a never-ending story. Evil Deeds Production says, lol, Aurora, what's wrong about Obsidian? I think I already answered that one. Stuff by Max says, hello, I already answered that one as well. Brent Fraser, are you thinking of Quentier? Who is thinking? That's the, okay, that was when I was searching for Q own notes. Okay. Obsidian is proprietary too, but I've vetted their privacy policies and I'm personally okay with it, but I totally get if someone doesn't. Okay, so one of the things that I want with my notes in the future, and I'm actually not there yet. I want my notes stored on my hardware. I'm not, how do I put it? I'm not too worried about my privacy when it comes to my notes, because in most of my notes it's just ideas for this channel and another of my hobbies, right? These are most of my notes are not actually that private. The only thing private about my notes is that I don't want people to read my ideas ahead of time until it's time for me to actually use these notes and make something in the form of a video, right? It would be kind of a spoilers, right? I don't want you to see spoilers until I'm ready to dive into those topics. And that's the reason why I don't have a huge problem with Telegram being able to read my proxy notes. Let's call them proxy notes, right? But in the far future, I will probably switch to something like Matrix, and by Matrix I mean my own server, right? So that should be private enough. But still, I need something on my phone that I can also read on my PC, because writing on my phone is not enough if I cannot read it on my PC, because if I take the effort to type a couple of sentences on my phone, I don't want to retype it again on my PC if I already took the time to type it right on the phone. So I just prefer to have it synced to my PC somehow and then copy paste, basically. Steph Linux says I was like 15 seconds too slow, and in my case, I'm like 5 minutes too slow with chat, right? Evil Deeds Production, I'm Bugsy. Bugsy? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Mike Rack, maybe there is a weird capital in there. Stuff by Max is our package. Okay, how's everybody doing? Evil Seeds, Steph Linux, if you write down code for nukes, they'll know. Okay, okay. Alexei Shilin, I think Lotus is also quite popular. Fine. I use Obsidian because I can't find a Markdown Notes app that also has an Android version. Uh, okay, okay. I mean, that kind of sync is pretty good. Pretty good. I'm not saying that my way is perfect by any means. It's just what I use right now, and I'm okay with my setup. And if you're okay with your setup, that's also good. I mean, if it works for you, then that's the goal, right? It needs to, the whole system needs to work for you. And if you're no longer thinking about how bad your system is and how you want to improve it, then then you scored. Then you're good. That's the goal. Stuff by Max, Emacs, and Vim always the goat. Yeah, pretty much. Always the goat. Stuff by Max. I got is Deers. I don't know what this says. Evil Deeds Productions, I like Standard and Joplin. Okay. Vladimir Mishev, there is Q-own package for Open Mandriva. Just installed it with DNF. Good, good. That's nice. Nino Hedge, Aurora, try Memos. It's web-based, but you're self-hosting and it works anywhere and on Android included. Okay. Milo Hoffman, I keep a daily journal and lots of other notes. I used org mode for a while, but last few years I have settled on Vim wiki with Markdown. Having a personal wiki is invaluable. Actually, that was Hoffman. That was actually one of my ideas. However, it takes a lot of evolutionary steps to get to this point. So keep that thought in your head and maybe remind me at some point that we discussed this, because I think I would like to get there at some point, because most of my notes are for this channel and for my hobbies, right? And eventually they disappear. I delete them. But some of my notes are, let's say, everlasting, and having a personal wiki might be a good idea. But those notes that are for the wiki, those are actually not private. Those are actually notes that I would prefer to publish for everyone to see. So this is an interesting topic. Stuff by Max, I just got restricted on YouTube. I have no idea what that means. Evil Deeds Productions, I think Standard needs to hurry up and become Proton nodes. Vladimir Bishop, did you try General? It's plain text. Nope. General note. Let's see what that is. It's false. Collect your thoughts. And this one. I suppose this is it. Installing with curl brew. Okay, this is useless. Open collective. Is this the one? Yeah, I think it is. I'll collect your thoughts and notes without leaving the command line. General to... Oh, nice. Nice. I actually never thought of this idea. To make a new entry, just enter... can you actually see this? I can't make it any bigger. To make a new entry, just enter the command and the fuzzy date, I suppose, and it will enter somewhere as a log, kind of like a captain's log. Read the documentation. Okay, I think that you have made a huge problem for me now. This is something that I actually like, and I never even considered such an idea. However, the problem might end up being that at least half of my notes are being made on the go, where I don't have a computer in my hand. Accessible anywhere. Sync your journal files with other tools like Dropbox to capture your thoughts wherever you are. Do we have a phone application for this? Vladimir is plain text. I'm gonna catch up with you, Vladimir. Just let me read the rest of the chat. Stuff by Max. Why you don't like Electron? That's a good question. I don't have a reason. I mean, I don't have a technical enough reason. I will try to explain, but it might not be good enough reason for you. So I'm trying to I'm trying to minimize my digital life, if that makes sense. I don't want bloat. I have plenty of RAM on this computer. It has 16 gigs of RAM, so I can pretty much load whatever I want on Linux. It's plenty enough. But Electron based applications eat somewhat more RAM than natively compiled applications do in on average, right? Of course, there are exceptions to both worlds, but usually I like minimal stuff, and Electron on its own is definitely not minimal. It's like when you want to make a video game that is a 2D platformer like a pixel art style, maybe Godot engine would be a good fit for that. But generally you want to make your own engine because Godot is pretty much an overkill for a pixel 2D platformer. It's not really an overkill, but you can make it smaller if you make your own engine, and that shouldn't be too hard with some other tools that are at our disposal, like SDL and similar stuff. But Electron is like using Unreal Engine to make a 2D platformer. You don't have to agree with me, but that's how I see it. Electron is like Electron is like, I'm a wannabe programmer and I suck at programming and I don't want to learn a low-level programming language, so I'm just gonna go with web technologies. And if you can't load it, just buy more RAM. And I don't like to rent. I just don't support this way of programming, and I will always pick a native application over anything that is web-based. And that's it from me. And if you're a fan of web-based technologies, that's pretty good. I really don't have anything against other people using web-based technologies. It's just that I don't want to use them if I'm given a choice. Okay, and that's where I stand. I don't want to encourage other developers to program applications on a desktop in web technologies. I don't want to go that way. I'm more like a suckless fan person, and by suckless, I mean this. This kind of lifestyle, right, on a computer. If you're unfamiliar with this philosophy, maybe check out the suckless.org. I'm fairly confident that at least half of you in the chat know about this website, but just in case you don't, go check it out and see what these guys have made in their history, right? So what they make is pretty good and aligns well with my internal philosophy in my head. Evil Deed says that's because I am already a Proton customer. Okay. Astava Max says I meant that my notes are in directories. Okay, pretty much like my own notes as well. Evil Deeds, I like Obsidian for building mind map for planning projects. Yeah, that's one of the advantages of Obsidian. Yeah, and the Q own nodes can do that as well. But here's the spoiler: Emacs can do that as well. It can link between different org documents in the middle of the text, and you can make a sort of a mind map. You need to practice a little bit with Emacs shortcuts and commands, but I mean, you can't just pull with the mouse, right? But once you get the grip on it, it's not that difficult anymore. If you don't want to learn Emacs commands and you just want to drag stuff with your mouse, that's perfectly fine. I really don't mind anyone using Obsidian. I really need to repeat that. But you will most probably not see me using it. My crack, similar situation for my notes. Most of them are related to my creative writing, and I'll be putting them all up in a public Git repo under CC once published. Anyways, yeah, that's my stance as well. Aurora, did you try Syncting for syncing your notes? That's what I use. If that's a question for me, did I try Syncting? I actually did not. I think I have Syncting somewhere in my to-dos to try it out. If I remember correctly, Syncting is it's like a Linux peer-to-peer sync, right? For two computers to have two folders in sync, right? If I actually, let me look it up once again. Syncting. Continuous file synchronization program is synchronize files between two or more computers in real time, safely protecting. Yeah, that's the one. I actually do have that on my to-do to test. However, I did not test it yet. For now, I just use Git. It's fine. I mean, I need to run a command to upload. But it takes like a second to do, so it's a no-brainer for now. But Syncting sounds like a really good thing to try, and I will try it out at some point. But thanks for the reminder on this one. Nino says you can use Matrix for chat with people. Of course, you can use Blue Butterfly if you more private version of Facebook. There is a whole lot more. What do you Nino Hedgie? What do you mean you can use Matrix for chat with people? What do you mean by that? I mean, is this not what I'm doing? Like using Matrix to chat with people? So this is element on my Matrix chat room, and Bad Weather said that he will tune into this live stream. But yeah, I do use Matrix to chat with people, so that's nice. It's good software. Alexei Shilin, it's not Lotus, is okay. Ictas or IOTAS. I actually should make this font a little bit bigger because I don't really see well. Should be pretty good at this point. Okay. Evil Deeds Production, Bugsy is my name. Oh, okay. Pleased to meet you, Bugsy. I apologize if I forgot your name from any of previous chats or comments, because I do get quite a few of them, but if you show up a couple of times like Stuff by Max, then I will remember, and I apologize once again. Stuff by Max says I got features taken. Vladimir laughs. Meat Lotion, looks good. How will that work with being in the car on a phone? Spoiler alert, it will not work well in the car for sure, but on a phone, I don't know. Actually, in the car, I just had another idea, and I will probably need to note it down. JRNL combination with the car, I might be able to use Raspberry Pi with a microphone and with a voice-to-text translator installed on a Raspberry Pi, and like with a press of a button, the Raspberry Pi could listen to me locally and then convert my voice to text, and then run JRNL command to type a note, right? So that could work. I'm actually trying to find a really solid reason to have a Raspberry Pi constantly running in my car, but I keep failing to utilize it for anything meaningful. I keep bringing it back to my car and building various different projects with it, but it never sticks. I always return it back home, and I call it a failure because it wasn't actually a good idea. And I have had several ideas with Raspberry Pi in my car. So that's one of the many ideas that I just have randomly. Would JRNL work on a phone? I don't know that. I need to do a little bit of research. Is there any application that could sync with the output of JRNL? But it does kind of sound interesting. Nina says, I don't mind using web-based technologies as long as I am the one hosting it. Well, that's a legit good way of thinking. For desktop applications, I would prefer to use native applications, preferably written in C, C++, and stuff like that. For the web interfaces, for something remote, that's fine. I'm just against Electron, right? Electron is like a stopgap for desktop application developers who are not skilled enough to use native languages. I might sound a little bit evil at this point. I don't know. Don't pull my tongue too much, because I don't have anything personal against any of these developers. I just live in a world where native applications are kings, and if you can't make it this way, then there is a really good chance that I will not be using it. That is pretty much everything I wanted to say. Meat Lotion, I used to use the Sackless terminal for a while. Okay. Mike Rack, I'm gonna have to buckle down and learn Emacs. That's what this all comes down to. LOL. Mike Rack, don't feel pressured or forced into Emacs. I'm not, what do you call them? I'm not Emacs Zealot or anything like that, or Vim for that matter. I just, when I was trying to get more into one of these super popular applications of free software for notes and programming and similar stuff, I was actually thinking between Vim and Emacs for quite a few use cases, right? One of them was learning programming. And that was where I was kind of eeny, meeny, money mowing between Vim and Emacs. And at one point, I realized that I kind of like the extra features that Emacs can do, such as org mode. This was like a plus for Emacs, and for basic programming, I think Vim and Emacs are pretty close to each other, even NeoVim. Both can do like language server stuff and tree sitter and highlighting and understanding my variable types, and they can call the compiler and debugger. So from programming perspective, they are not that different in terms of features. They just work in a different way, right? The Vim is model, Emacs is not, but then again, the speed comes down to practice, not the way they are assembled. So that's how I came to using org mode a little bit more. But I will never tell people you must use Emacs because we are from the church of Emacs, and if you don't join us, then the old evil devil of the Vim will come upon you and curse you or something. Use what you like. My crack sync thing is awesome. Got my whole network running off it. That sounds good. Nino Hedge Matrix is actually more like Discord. It's like I would say it's like a mix, it's a mix of Discord and IRC, Internet Relay Chat, right? Because the rooms of Matrix they have this IRC flavor to them. But also Discord is based on IRC technology, so they also have this IRC flavor to them, just with this interface that has also spaces, which also Discord does. So that's visually it feels more closer to Discord, right? And the fact that you don't have to be always present in the room in order to catch up on the previous chat. So in that regard, it's a bit closer to Discord. But what I like more about Matrix is that it's not proprietary. It's decentralized. You can get up you can erect your own server, which many people do. You can be the boss of your own chat rooms. You can encrypt them if you want. You can host them on your server. All kinds of things, right? You can have your, for example, family join you on your Matrix server, and when you chat with them, not only will it be encrypted, but it will also your private chats with your family who are on your own server are not just encrypted, but also they are not actually going to anyone else's Matrix server. They are just relaying through your own server and never even touching another person's server. So that's an extra plus for privacy. There you go, right? It's neat. It's in the spirit of free and open source software. It's good. Discord bad, and life goes on. Evil Deeds Production says, I like Git too. I mean, it's practical, right? It's not for everyone's taste, but it's just a few commands. You can make a macro or something. It's nice. Stavma Max says, hey, I have college. Evil Deeds Productions, I follow on Element. Okay. Meatlotion Nextcloud has notes. Meatlotion Nextcloud has notes which are also compatible with QO nodes. I mean, QO nodes can sync to the Nextcloud, and this same nodes you can read with Nextcloud Notes application on the smartphone. So if you're into Nextcloud, then Q on Notes is actually somewhat good fit, I would say. Mike Ruck, I actually have been wanting to learn Emacs for a long time. I played around with it a little, but I've got other stuff to learn more pressing. Working on HUGO to replace WordPress currently. Yeah, so when I started my website, I actually first made it with 11T. That's one of the static website generators, right? This one. But then I switched to HUGO. And this is my current website generated with HUGO. And it's nice. It's nice. I like it. I like the very idea of generating static websites for all of the intents and purposes, right? Because they somewhat behave as a blog that is like a WordPress, right? You just make another article, and suddenly it looks exactly the same as all of the other articles because there is an underlying architecture. But in this case, the result is the same, but it's not a dynamic page, just a static one. It's perfect. It loads instantly. There is no a requirement on the server side. It's literally just instantly loaded on both ends, and very light on everyone's resources, right? Nina says, which I choose whenever I can. Oh, I skipped something. HUGO is nice. I use that for a couple of sites, Midlotion. And then Nino says, when it comes to web-based solutions, I always choose self-hosting over cloud service provided by the developer. Okay, thumbs up for that. If you host web app on your computer, it's not any different than native app, which I choose whenever I can. This conversation will go into the Neverland. Like, I don't have legit good arguments against this. It's just a matter of preference. Mike Rack working on moving to that too. Just started playing with Nginx yesterday. Okay. Nino Hedgie, here is something you probably never heard of. Simplex. Me or Mike Rack? What am I searching for? Probably not the crypto stuff, right? Simplex chat. Privacy redefined. The first messenger without user IDs. Other apps have user IDs, Signal Matrix, whatever. Simplex does not even random numbers. This radically improves your privacy. Okay. Okay, this is something that requires a little bit of research. If you want, you can describe it in chat. I don't want to research it right now live, but I can leave this web page open for a while. Could be interesting, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to continue using Matrix more and more as time goes by. I like the concept of decentralization and having my own server in the near future, and bridging with all the other servers on the internet. It is good as a concept. I like the concept of email, right? You have an email address at this server, and this server can host a lot more users or just a few, and then you can federate with all of the other servers in the entire world and send email to whoever you want. It's a good standard. And same goes for Matrix. I think the idea behind Matrix is very good. So from that perspective, you can choose to join the Matrix org if you are a normal user who wants a simpler solution. If you're a more advanced user, you can join your friend's Matrix server and you can still talk to the guys on the Matrix org, or you can erect your own and still talk to everyone else. If that becomes a good and widely used standard, I would cheer for that if it's on me. All the Studio 45, big up all. Nino Hedgie to explain Simplex is chat application, but I'm not sure how it works. It is highly secure and really private. How does Simplex work? Well, here's the explanation, right? Many users asked if Simplex has no user identifiers, how can it know where to deliver messages? To deliver messages instead of user IDs used by all other platforms, Simplex uses temporarily anonymous pairwise identifiers of message queues separate for each of your connections. There are no long-term identifiers. You define which servers to use to receive the messages, your contacts, the servers you use to send the messages to them. Every conversation is likely to use 2 different servers. Okay. This design prevents leaking any user's metadata on the application level. To further improve your privacy and protect your IP address, you can connect to messaging servers via Tor. Only client devices store profiles, contacts, and groups. The messages are sent via 2-layer end-to-end encryption. And there is a drawing and a person using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I suppose those are servers. This is a rudimentary description. Maybe white paper will explain a little bit better what is objective in comparison, technical details, trust in servers. Clients communicate directly, users use multiple servers. Accordingly, they send messages to their communication partners chosen servers either directly, if this is a known trusted server, or via another SMP server providing proxy functionality to protect IP address and session of the sender. Although end-to-end encryption is always present, users place a degree of trust in servers they connect to. Okay, this is somewhat important. This trust decision is very similar to a user's choice of email provider. Okay, we were coming closer. However, the trust placed in Simplex server is significantly less. Notably, there is no reused identifier or credential between queues on the same or different servers. This is a little bit long. I will need to study this offline. I mean, I can read it out loud, but I need to do a little bit of research into how this functions. Stuff by Max, you did that in HUGO. I mean, HUGO is not the looks of the page is not what HUGO does. You make the look of the page in web technology, right? In HTML or JavaScript. But what HUGO does, HUGO takes pieces of your web page design, and then it generates them in a, how do I say this? For example, every web page has a header, it has a body, it has a, well, those are two important things, right? But when your pages repeat, you will want to have the same header everywhere. You will probably want to have the same footer everywhere, and you will probably want to have every article in the same layout with the maybe author name. The title should be always in the same place. So these are the parts of your web page which you make once, and once that you are satisfied with the design, then you take HUGO or any other static website generator, and then you tell HUGO how to generate your pages. You want to tell it okay, combine this header with every page that you are making. In this spot, there will be a title of the how do I say it? The title of the article, and you need to use from the MD file, from the markup. You go use this as a title and make it in this HTML format. Use this part of the MD file as a body, and just generate it the same way every time. Let me just pick it up. Where is my kitty? Here we go. Okay, so I have some crap here. Web. Let me just maximize this for a second. This is my web page. Okay, so you want to have a theme. You can basically download some random theme for HUGO from anywhere you can find one. You put it in here, just so you have a starting point, right? It can be a blank white theme, but if it's prepared for HUGO, then it's easier to start, just to get an idea how it works, right? And once it's all ready for deployment, I need to skip a little bit forward. Once it's ready, then you will go to content, and you have posts, and these are basically my posts, right? So what was my last one? My last one was Spotify, right? Spotify, Emacs, Spotify. Okay, here. So here is what you need to tell HUGO to do. You need to tell it who the author is. If you are using this feature in your blog, you are most probably going to have a title for every one of your articles, date, optional, description, also something that fits. I mean, the HUGO will take the content of the variable called description while it's generating a new document on the web, and it will replace a part of your HTML with the content of the description. I got lost, but I hope you are catching up. And then tags is something else that I'm using, and then after these, the whole article starts. These are dashes are recognized and parsed. Links are being parsed. There is triple backticks will generate. HUGO will generate like a code block on your website, and this is pretty much it, right? So what you see here is what you get in the end. Well, here, right? So what you see on the left side is what you get on the right side. And this is what HUGO does. It just goes through all of your MD files and generates what you have created in the beginning for your design, pretty much. Meat Lotion 386 Steam. I use that with one of my sites. Yep. Oli Studio, that's nice. Low spec Linux gaming is sending a penguin. Mike Track, love that BIOS like theme. It's supposed to be like a DOS like theme, but yeah, I guess it reminds on an older BIOS, right? Vladimir says, by the way, I had a few hiccups with General. First, I had to Python 3 pip install and then pipx install and do it manually, and now it works and it looks like a nice tool. Okay. Nino Hedge, I'm just sharing info on interesting apps that I know of. It's up to you to choose what you prefer. Yes, sir. Noted. Oli Studio, so you can only communicate with someone who knows or going to be connected. I believe if we are talking about Simplex, I believe that you're correct on this one. And Vladimir Mishev says, I know jack about web and programming, but this HUGO sounds like old menu designer generated apps for COBOL. Sarcasm. I am not familiar with old menu designer generator apps for COBOL, but I don't think that you're too far from the general idea, because let's simplify. Let's simplify. You have a super simple web page. You make HTML that just has a head and body, like extremely simple. And in the head, you will make a title, and in the title, you will put the calling variable for HUGO. So when you put that on the website, instead of the title, it will not be your title. It will be the variable for HUGO, right? But then you feed this to HUGO as a theme, and then you tell HUGO to go through your theme design and find where in your HTML theme design is the title prepared for HUGO with the variable that HUGO is expecting. And then you tell HUGO, go through my posts folder and open every single one of my posts MD file. And for every single file, generate a new HTML. And for the every title, replace it with the title that I have written in my MD file. And HUGO will, if you have prepared 10 MD files with 10 different titles, HUGO will generate 10 completely same HTML pages, and every single one will have a title properly filled up and generated in the end HTML result. So that's what it does. It's extremely simple once you get the hang of it, and you just need a good-looking team if you can't make one on your own, right? Where are we at with time? We have been streaming for just over 1 hour. So what's the next topic? Let's check out what people are saying just for fun. Just for fun, let's go to the to this video. 3 comments. Oh, the Linux cast has arrived. Meat Lotion asks, do you use Mastodon? I do use Mastodon, but I'm trying to quit social media, so take that as you will. Let me go to Silver Sword. Okay, so not only that I am using Mastodon, but I am also hosting a 200 user gaming Mastodon server. So here's my handle if you feel like following, so here's the thing. Here's the thing. This is my last post. I feel overwhelmed with social media a lot, and over the years I have I know which word I want. I just can't remember it in English. I abused social media too much. I got too addicted to all that shit, and I keep visiting and refreshing and seeing if there is something new, if someone replied to me and whatnot. I just use it too much. Both Twitter and Mastodon and whatever. It all works on my mental state in the same way, and I don't get any particular life value out of any social media. And I'm really trying to get rid of that. So whether or not I will post again on Mastodon, who knows? Who knows? But at least I'm trying to get away for a while to see where this leads. Usually, when I step away from social media for a couple of weeks, usually I get a lot more free time, which I can then invest back into various learning and improving myself, or simply making more videos. So usually social media takes a whole lot of hours from me. So that's the reason why why I'm trying to get away from that. So I suspect that you just followed because my notification number just changed to 5. So from that perspective, okay. I will not click on my notifications right now because I know for a fact that I have a private message waiting there. And I don't want to show that on stream, but it is what it is. I'll follow back after the stream. But for now, we will see. We will see how that goes. This is what my dog thinks of me using social media. Vladimir says, in menu design apps, you will basically draw few ASCII boxes and lines to be forms and link them with proper variables, and main app will generate code to link with main COBOL app. So you'll have database stuff plus menus. That kind of sounds close enough to what HUGO does. Not particularly the same, but I guess close enough. It is a generator, right? But you need to design your own design. What HUGO does is it replicates your own design many times so that you can make a blog easier, right? For example, when you go to my page, you will see that I have 4 articles here. And if you open this one, you see the design, right? And when you open another article, you see it's a different article, but exactly the same design with exactly the same footer. And then we can go home here, and then we go to this design. This is something I was typing about Emacs. And of course, you have the same header, same footer, and same back to home. At some point, you will change your you will change your idea. For example, Mastodon link. Mastodon link is something that I was planning to remove from my web page. And once I remove Mastodon link from HUGO, it will remove it on all of my pages, because once I run HUGO, it will rework all of my pages, all up to the first one, and there will not be any more. Mastodon link is hard coded on every single one of my pages, but HUGO is the one who is generating all of those pages, and HUGO is the one who will generate all of my pages once again without the Mastodon link, and once again the pages without the Mastodon link will be hard coded, but HUGO is the one who is doing all of the hard coding. Mike Ruck says, I'm still new to it, but if I understand it right, HUGO is basically a script to build a site in lieu of using a CMS like WordPress or Drupal, handling all of the elements shared across the site. I'm stuck because I'm not entirely sure if I understood. Nino says, gotta go, see ya. Bye-bye, Nino. Mike Ruck, I think you're correct. I think you're correct if I am the one who understood correctly. But basically, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. We are in content. Let's go back. Let's go. Let's use Emacs to edit HUGO toml, and let me show you the main configuration file for my HUGO, right? So somewhere here I have had my links. Okay, URLs for social networks. Okay, so Mastodon is defined in my main HUGO configuration file, but it's actually called in my HTML theme. So the actual link is here, but my theme is calling it, and in another place Mastodon handles how it will deal with that. Let me just comment out Mastodon link. So basically now it no longer exists. You can save that in Emacs, you can close Emacs, and now you type HUGO, and what just happened is HUGO went through 32 of my pages, and HUGO regenerated all of my pages now without knowing what my Mastodon link is, right? So that's what just happened. And let's just go ahead and git add everything from this how would I say, from this folder. Let me just think if I need to edit anything in theme. I don't think I need to edit anything in theme. Git my brain is sorry. When I'm streaming, I am in a completely different kind of brain function. Nothing technical works when I need to talk to people. When I need to do some programming practice, then I am unable to talk to people, and vice versa. Git push, voila. And what just happened is that my latest HUGO website has now been pushed to GitHub, and it's now on my GitHub. And in a couple of seconds, the Cloudflare is going to detect a change on my GitHub, and it's going to pull my new source code for HUGO, and then Cloudflare is going to generate the whole website once again. I actually did not need to generate the HUGO website on my local machine, because Cloudflare is going to do that. And once Cloudflare generates my new website, it is going to publish it on my website. And we are now at Linux Renaissance, and I'm just going to remind you that we have a Mastodon link in the footer. And now I'm going to refresh my webpage, and voila, there is no more Mastodon link in my footer. And if you go to my main webpage, there is no Mastodon here. And if you go to some article, there is no Mastodon link here either. We have just edited the webpage. Vladimir says, never underestimate complexity and craziness of old text user interface menus. Ever worked with IBM mainframe apps? No, I did not. If you thought you know computing, we are not in the Kansas anymore. I just got a message on Telegram, which I should not be reading. Vladimir Mishev says, message retracted. Okay, same to you. Meat Lotion reminds me on how to use Git. Thank you very much. Mike Ruck, thanks. I meant by generating the site. You don't need to use a content management system that basically does it on the fly. Precisely that. Content management system generates a website in the backend on the web server itself in the moment when the person visiting is opening it. Yeah, so that's a dynamic web page. Clearly, the static site has a lot of downsides. For example, you need a dynamic website that is server-side generated if you want to have comments on your website. For example, you need for comments you need to run active. How do I put it? When people open your input field and click submit, the submit button needs to trigger something on the server that needs to happen on the backend and needs to show up as a content on your page, right? If you have a static website, then such as this one, right, then you probably cannot make comments. I have a couple of ideas. You can use the discuss comments like externally. You can hook that up to your static page, but that on its own is a dynamic page just generated on some other server. So that's still not a fully static site. It's half static, half dynamic. I found a way how to integrate Fediverse or Mastodon replies to show up on my static website, but that would use JavaScript. And how that would work is that I would put a link of my website article on Mastodon or Fediverse, and then people would reply to it. And then when the visitor would come to my website, then the visitor would generate replies from Mastodon in his own web browser in the form of JavaScript. So basically it would still be a static site. It's just that the visitor would be using the compute power of their own computer to generate comments. Basically, the visitor would be the one scraping the Mastodon replies and showing them on the web page. However, they would not actually be on the web page, just on the visitor's computer's browser. I actually already tried that and it works. I just don't feel too good about using too much JavaScript on people's computers. It's something that I'm going to think about. Mike Rack says comments on public sites these days are 99% malware. Unfortunately, at least for me and my clients there are. So no comments is a pro for me. So that being malware, yes, I agree. So that is the reason why I was testing Mastodon replies, because for Mastodon replies, everyone is hosting their own replies on their own servers. So the replies are not actually on my web page. And the ones who are replying, they are completely responsible for what they have replied. And from that perspective, I'm trying to find a certain balance, right? So it's good. It's good, but we will see how can I do it better. Preferably without JavaScript if possible, but I'm not sure. And I was on my YouTube actually reading the Linux cast reply. Clever, but let me zoom that in a bit. Clever, but not simple as it just being on my computer after I've read it. Sync is a marvelous technology. I don't have Telegram anymore, and I really don't want to do the copy pasting. I'm going to think about what am I going to reply to Matt. But okay, this is going to be nice back and forth between him and me, maybe if he's willing to discuss this topic further on, because I don't think that either him or me are having the final solution for nodes at this point. He might think that he found a simple solution, but I can bet you for a pizza on me that he is going to redo and rethink this at least once more. Mike Rack says my shift is over. I must now brave the winter storm. Thanks for the fun chat, Dart. Thank you for visiting, Mike, and see you next time. Stevie says I have a colloquium from information systems. Do I have a tip for that? What's the topic? Maybe I have a tip, maybe I don't. The topic that you have given me is just really broad. Try to narrow it down if you can in English, so that maybe someone else can add to the conversation. If you can't type in English, then I will translate. Stevie says system analytics. I have nothing to comment on that. I don't have any substance for that topic. I'm sorry. Vladimir Mishev, by the way, I posted addendum to my comment on Mandrieva video with link to paste bin to my colored man settings. If anyone is in this sort of things, it's even commented. It's even commented. Okay. So folks can change their own colors and attributes. Sorry for. Well, it's not off topic because the topic of this stream is off topic. It's just chatting. Stevie says generally what a system analyst should and shouldn't do, what makes a good system analyst, and all that stuff. The thing is, I don't know anything about the topic. Might be surprising or not, but I really don't. I would share my opinion if I would have one. Honestly, I just don't know. It's a moment to eat some plasma. Thank you for tolerating my chewing. I'm going to reply all of these comments later. Okay, there's no more comments because people are not that interested in this topic. Let's close this and what is that Brave team, if it's a team at all? It actually is a team because by default, Brave, at least on my computer on Linux, when you put it into dark mode, the tabs, you cannot see a difference between tabs, and you cannot see which one is selected, and you cannot see which one is currently being moused over. So the default dark theme in Brave is completely trash, like garbage trash. And the only reason why I changed the theme is to be able to see my tabs. Basically, that's the idea. And what theme it is, I was just searching through themes until I found one that I liked, and let's see which it is. I actually forgot where is that even configured, maybe in extensions or something. Remind me where the theme is being even configured. Brave colors. Neon Kingdom. Okay. But where is it? Where is it even in Brave? I just typed somewhere in the search engine like Chromium themes, and it took me to somewhere where I just clicked and it was whatever. I don't usually rise up my web browser. Meatlotion, does your Brave in appearance? Right under Brave colors. Oh, okay. So this is what I'm saying, right? When I'm streaming, I'm extremely stupid. But yeah, okay. Meatlotion, does your Brave sync work okay in Arch for you? I had to stop using Brave because sync kept resetting and would drop out of sync. Really annoying. I now use LibreWolf. It's not that my Brave sync doesn't work, it's just that I actually don't sync it at all. I don't really need it, I think. I only need like one main browser on one main PC, and when I'm on my laptop, it's just a browser without my bookmarks. It hasn't crossed, how do I put it? I didn't have the actual need to sync it just yet, if that makes sense. So it's just like here locally. We will see where the future takes me, but generally, I did use Firefox Sync previously, so most of my bookmarks are still there on that account, right? But I knew that Brave is using some kind of sync technology that's not account based, and I just never bothered to set it up. That's pretty much it. I understand it could be annoying if you really need it and if it doesn't work, but for now, I don't need it. Where's the rest of my Brave? Ah, here it is. I have like 3 Brave browsers open, I think. Yeah, three of them. Okay. What was this? Oh, that one. Okay. This is something that I'm probably going to test today. Oli Studio says that has to be an AI dog. It's not an AI dog. It's actually this dog here. Let me just show it to you. Laika. Doji. 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 Haydi Doji. 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 Haydi. Doji. Papa. There we go. See? Same dog. You're going back to sleep? The dog is actually sleeping. I woke her up for I need to broaden my English vocabulary. I woke her up to pose on the stream, and she's back to sleep. Stevie says, what do you think of Proton Mail? What do you want me to think of Proton Mail? That may be a better question. What is important to you about email that would require you to consider something like Proton Mail? What is your idea about considering it, other than a lot of people hyping it, and some YouTubers being paid by them to promote them. What is the what would you expect from me for an answer? I have some opinions about Proton Mail, but I would first like to understand what are you trying to get with an opinion, right? It's an email service, right? Vladimir Mishev, when we are off topic, another observation. I was very surprised that in Open Mandriva there is nowhere to be found one of the most standard tools, VT test. Let me copy paste your question and put it into the chat with Open Mandriva people. Open Mandriva, and paste. And there we go. And where is my, give me just a second. Where is my YouTube stream? Ah, fun topic. Copy this. Okay, Vladimir Mishev. If anyone from Open Mandriva is in the mood to answer your question, they might join the chat, they might not. I don't guarantee anything. The last time I got Open Mandriva boss in my live chat was when I asked him directly, right? And he accepted. So now I just randomly threw your question into their chat. I apologize for catching up slowly. Stevie and Vladimir, thank you for the nice words for the dog who is sleeping. The cutest house round barking thing ever. Privacy and usability. Privacy and usability. I will answer Proton Mail privacy and usability from behind. Let's say from behind, from some of my personal opinions. It's not necessarily bad or good, but it will give you something to think about. So you might be able to compose your own end opinion in the end, right? One of the best things about email is federation and decentralization, right? So if you send like mail, like this kind of mail to someone, usually you send it to, you write it, you send it to the post with the address, and then the postman delivers it to the mailbox of the receiving user, and then the receiving user can take it and read it, right? That's the main premise behind snail mail. It's the same behind the actual email, especially with POP3 protocol, if you remember that one. People would get their mail delivered to their inbox, and then they would use their computer to fetch stuff from their inbox emptying it in the process and delivering their mail to their computer, where they would be reading them and then storing these emails or deleting them permanently. That's how it started. Then we got sync with IMAP and Exchange protocols, but that's besides the point. So where I'm heading with this, the fact that email is so widely used protocol and decentralized and completely federated, and this means that you can use any email server that you want, right? Any you want in the world. So you pick ProtonMail, I pick let's say Gmail, not exactly, but let's say that I picked Gmail, and I can send you email. It will arrive in your ProtonMail basically unencrypted. I mean, both of these servers are using basic transmission encryption. So there is a high chance that the Google's mail server and Proton mail servers will exchange email from me to you in a way that should not be interceptable in the middle, right? So any of the routing points on the entire internet should not be able to intercept our email. In most cases, this works fine. In many other cases, even this is not very well implemented. But let's say that this works properly between Gmail and ProtonMail. However, the mail from me to you is not end-to-end encrypted in terms of, Google can read my email, and ProtonMail, depending on their policy, they should be able to read my mail that was delivered to your inbox unless they have designed their system in a way to how do I put it? Unless they designed their system to basically not be able to read my mail. But at the same time, they can reprogram their system in a way so that they can intercept your emails that you receive from me. Nothing is really stopping them from doing that, except promising you that they will not do that. So in that regard, the email is not completely protected, so that you can be completely sure that nobody can read it. However, if you and I would both use ProtonMail, then we are getting end-to-end protection because ProtonMail is the way that they do it is that your email box has a PGP. Sorry for being so slow. I must assemble the whole system in my head. When you send email to me and we are both on ProtonMail, your email gets encrypted. Your email to me gets encrypted with my PGP key, which ProtonMail knows which one it is because it's in their database. And when I get your email, it's encrypted in a way which only I can decrypt with my private session decryption key. Or whatever it's called, the second one, not my account password, but the second one, the second key. And unless ProtonMail reconfigures their system and makes it vulnerable to their eavesdropping, then our mail communication is secure. However, you are never 100% sure that ProtonMail will not make a backdoor for that. You simply cannot know that unless they continuously give all of their code to some third party to analyze it. And then this third party tells everyone, we have seen the code, we trust them that they're not eavesdropping anyone's email. So basically third-party audit, but nothing is stopping them to make a backdoor in between third-party audits. And I know this sounds paranoid, but I'm just giving you facts, right? In theory, they can do that. There is a very high probability that they will get caught very soon after they make a backdoor. So you can be fairly confident that they are not doing that. I'm just saying that they actually are in the power to do that. So from that point, it's a matter of trust to the company who you're giving your mail to, and the whole thing is starting to be centralized. And this is where the whole email technology and the standard falls completely into the water, because you actually cannot send a fully end-to-end encrypted email from ProtonMail to anyone who is not on ProtonMail, and this sucks big time. And what sucks even more is that ProtonMail is not even using proprietary technology. They're actually using standard PGP, which is even more mind-blowing, because I use PGP as well on my email. It's just that I use PGP on my own computer and not on some website. When I send encrypted mail to someone who uses PGP, that someone gives me their public PGP key. They literally give it to me. And when I send them my email, I encrypt the email with their public PGP key. And once I do that, only they can decrypt my email. And if they have set up the same as I do, completely private on their own computer, then it completely does not matter which email service they are using. They can even use Gmail, and nobody will be able to read our email correspondence, because I am encrypting mail for that person on my own computer. And at the moment when my email exits my computer, it's not the traveling from my mail server to their mail servers hasn't even started yet. I haven't even sent the email to my own server to be sent to their server, and it's already encrypted end to end for the recipient. So even my own mail server cannot decrypt it. Even I cannot decrypt it once it's encrypted with their key. And then it starts with my mail server, it goes to their mail server, and from their mail server, the end user, the recipient receives their email, downloads it to their computer or their mobile phone, and they decrypt it on their email client fully locally. So what goes on in the transit is completely irrelevant, because it is considered unbreakable. So at one point I tried to use the public key of ProtonMail recipient, and I have sent a mail to the ProtonMail recipient by encrypting it locally on my computer when I was sending it, and I wasn't sending it via ProtonMail. I have sent it via a third-party email server, right? And what do you know? The ProtonMail recipient has actually got my email, and they will able to read it, because ProtonMail uses standard encryption, PGP. So that's good. Thumbs up for that. And in my email, there was a public key, which is a standard procedure how you send public keys to your recipients who you are expecting an encrypted reply from. And then the dude, the ProtonMail user, has replied to me. And what do you know? I got unencrypted email, because ProtonMail does not give a damn about supporting encrypted emails towards any other destination other than their own. And that's how they're doing the centralization. And this is a part that I really don't like. And once they fix this, I'm going to go recommend it to people. Before they fix that, I will not recommend it. So I hope the answer is satisfactory. I was not able to give you a shorter one because I wanted to make sure that you get the whole picture that is in my head. Meatlotion says, Stevie, cheap VPS from OVH at $3 a month, or I have no idea what is Meatlotion describing, but clearly it's a service from someone. Meatlotion, everything you need will be there. Okay, Vladimir Mishev, I was there. I asked at the end about less term cap, but he already left. Never mind, I posted what I think works and looks nice. Anyone here old enough to remember FTP over mail? Vladimir Mishev, what do you mean FTP over mail? I guess I don't remember. First of all, one must be sure that interface used login browser is secure. Stevie asks, so what should I search up to find a tutorial or something on how to set that up? Stevie, what application for sending email do you use? Basically, ask your search engine a question like this. Sorry, I meant PGP. How to set up PGP on your favorite email client. Support Mozilla Open PGP, how to. You will find some videos as well. Installing GPG keys, not this one. Open PGP in Thunderbird. Yes, account settings, select your account, end-to-end encryption, add key, create a new Open PGP key, etc. And I think this is a good tutorial. I haven't read it now, but I think it's talking about what we need. Just study it a little bit. Don't rush it when you're generating a key, because the most important thing is that you will generate a key pair. You will generate a private key and a public key. Private key you must never give to anyone, literally, and you must have it backed up somewhere. You really need to have it backed up somewhere. If it gets accidentally deleted from your computer, you will not be able to receive emails from people who use your public key to encrypt emails that they are sending to you. So if you lose your private key, then, for example, if you format your PC and reinstall everything and forget to back it up, then you will have to bug everyone to delete your previous public key and to use your new public key. So that's less than ideal. So I don't know, back it up on your USB stick or something. Public key you will usually automatically attach on every email you send, so that it is delivered to everyone who receives email from you, and they will see, oh, this guy has a PGP and he's sending me his key. I can save it to my computer and encrypt email for him next time, right? So that's how it works. From Thunderbird, you can also click an option after you generate your key pair. You can also click an option that is called something like publish my public key on a public server. And what this will do is it will publish your key on a public server. So when I attempt to send an email to you, I can click a button in Thunderbird, something like check if this person has a public key published. And then Thunderbird will tell me, yes, this email address has a public key. You can encrypt email for this person. And then I will click yes. Also, when you generate your key pair, you will be asked how long do you wish your key pair to be valid. This is like ID card of our country, osobna iskaznica. So it has a certificate which is valid for a certain time. The reason to make it valid for a shorter period of time is if you believe that the encryption technology will get better over time, and it does, then you usually want the key pair to expire in a reasonable time frame so that everyone who has been using your key for a while will have it deleted from their computer once it's expired, because it's expired, and then you will generate a new one with possibly a stronger encryption. You can generate a key pair that lasts unlimited time, but in that case, you really need to pay attention not to lose it, because you will the people will be annoyed by if you change the keys too often. Ideally, you would never change your keys, because the whole procedure is a little bit annoying and not that practical. If you want, after you're done with the key generation in Thunderbird, you can send me an email and I will send one back at you, so you will see how it looks like when it's encrypted, when it's not encrypted, etc. Right? Just I don't know, look me up on Matrix Chat or something, and send me your email, and then we can when you're done, right? Or you can click on my YouTube account, and there is about page, and reveal the email address of this YouTuber, and it will give you my email address, so you can email them me. Meat Lotion says Proton Mail comes with politics. Vladimir Mishev, anyone here old enough? Okay, I already read this. First of all, one must be sure that interface used login browser app OS is secure. Okay. Stevie, okay, I already read this. Thunderbird. Oh, Stevie, so here's the problem. You cannot use an email client with Proton Mail. There is a workaround, and that is, if you are a Proton Mail paying customer, then they allow you to use a Proton Mail bridge. And bridge is a software that is running locally on your computer, and it provides you with a standard email protocol to which you can connect with any email application locally. So when you send email, the email client will think that the server is actually localhost, local IP address, and then localhost bridge for Proton Mail will relay that in a secure way to Proton, and then the mail will go where it needs to go. But if you're not a paying customer, then you cannot do that. You have to use webmail exclusively on your computer. Marko Jovanovic says, try again. And I say thank you, Marko. FTP over email. You send request over email to FTP server. In how many parts of which size bin ASCII you want file to be sent to back over email. I might have used something like that back in the day, but it's very vague. If I did, it was really more like a test drive or something. What I'm saying is that I don't remember. Stevie says I don't have to. I have not yet fully switched to it. I also have a Proton Mail account. I don't use it. I mean, it's there for some scenarios where I might be inclined to use it, but usually I don't. Vladimir Mishev says, yes, I'm old enough to be on the net before web was invented. Stevie says, which service would you recommend? For email? Well, if you have been paying attention to what I have described regarding how to properly end-to-end encrypt, in that case, I would recommend any email service to which you have a reasonable trust that the system administrator there will not be lurking into your emails. So I say the reasonable trust, and that is only when we're talking about unencrypted emails. If we're talking end-to-end decrypted mails, then use any email service that you like, because no mail service will be able to lurk into your emails simply because they will be end-to-end encrypted. However, I will warn you that very few people actually have the patience to use end-to-end encryption locally in their email clients. I'm just gonna be blunt about that. I use it. I know that one of you guys who were in the chat a couple of days ago also uses that, but generally people are not so inclined to keep their email communication private. They nowadays use other tools to send encrypted data over the internet, and email is it's an old system that never caught proper traction regarding being ultra secure, right? What Proton Mail is doing is like a bolt-on non-solution. Proton Mail is not going to solve anything with the way they're doing it now. They're just creating a bubble for themselves and drawing more people into their own service. Oh, which email service will give you the least problems with PGP keys? Email service is not used to set up PGP keys at all. So any service. Email service is not connected to your PGP keys in no way. PGP keys are in your email client. That's all. Maybe I will use an opportunity to draw. I don't think I have a drawing program, which is a shame. Actually, I have LibreOffice. It's not exactly a drawing program, but it will be good enough. View, I don't use this program, so pardon me for not knowing anything where it is. Page. How do I make it landscape? Page properties. Landscape. Okay. So Let's zoom a little bit more. So how do we draw with this? Let's use this, and oh, I need another one. Me, you. Okay, you T-bird means your Thunderbird. Me T-bird means my Thunderbird. And then we have, let's say, Hotmail. Okay, that's my server. This is your server. You're using Gmail. I'm just making up now. It doesn't matter which service, but you will understand soon. Let me move this a little bit down and a little bit down. So actually, I want it more down and more up. I will need space. Okay, so what happens here is that we will need another shape like this and like this. Okay, PGP. How do I, whatever. PGP, can we decrease the fonts? It doesn't matter. Anyways, my Thunderbird, your Thunderbird, my Thunderbird has PGP in it, your Thunderbird has PGP, and we are both using some email service. So the way this works is when I send email, actually let me undo this. When I send email from, can we change colors? Okay, doesn't matter. Does not matter too much, but here is how it works. Still not good enough. Okay, so when I send email, what happens is that every time you send an email with Thunderbird, it gets sent to your mail service provider via the protocol called SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. And then your mail server sends your email via SMTP to the destination mail service of the recipient. And then you will connect to Gmail via IMAP most likely, and then Gmail will give you your email also via IMAP protocol, because that's how you communicate with the email server when it does not come to the act of sending, right? So with IMAP protocol, you communicate with your inbox. What happens here is why this line is passing through the PGP diamond here is because at the moment, let me do just one more shape here, just one more shape, and let's throw this into the background, position, transformation, range, send to back. Okay, so the big blue square is my house. Okay, my house. So everything in the big blue square is happening in my house. So when my Thunderbird is sending an encrypted mail to you, what happens is that my Thunderbird uses your public encryption key, which I have stored on my Thunderbird in advance. I encrypt your email via PGP, and then I SMTP the email in a completely normal way to Hotmail, which is my server in this case. And the reason why Hotmail does not need to support PGP is because Hotmail has nothing to do with PGP. Hotmail is only receiving a completely normal email from me to you. It's just that the content of the email that I'm sending to you is completely encrypted. It has your address as a destination, but the content is encrypted, and Hotmail already in the start can see a mumbo jumbo email that is being sent to you. And the only thing that Hotmail can do is relay the encrypted mail towards Gmail, because that's the destination server. And once again, it doesn't matter that Gmail doesn't support PGP, because they don't need to support PGP. They only need to receive a jumbled, garbled, encrypted email from Hotmail, and then it's waiting for you. And then when you come home, then you turn on your Thunderbird, then you connect to IMAP in a completely normal way, like always. You download your email to your Thunderbird, and in the moment when you are opening your email, it is still encrypted at this moment until you try to open it, and in that moment it will get decrypted locally in your Thunderbird with your private key that you must keep safe in your own computer locally, right? And then in my garbled email, you will also find my public key, which you can save in your Thunderbird, so that next time when you click reply to my email, your Thunderbird will ask you, this guy to who you are trying to reply, you have their public encryption key, do you wish to encrypt email to them? And you will just say yes. And once again, you will SMTP a completely normal but encrypted mail to Gmail, to Hotmail, and this is where I'm going to fetch it to my computer, and it will still be encrypted until I decide to open it. And that's the whole idea behind using PGP locally, because the only way that you can be 100% sure that nobody can decrypt your email is by encrypting it locally. What ProtonMail is doing, they are doing it on their servers, and you can absolutely never be 100% sure what is going on there. They can promise that they are not doing any malicious things, and you absolutely have the right to trust them. It's up to you to believe what they say. Most of the world believes them, and I also believe that they would be caught very soon in their lies if they would be lying. So it's fair to assume that they're not lying, and that they are actually selling what they are advertising. So from that point, it's fine. I'm not calling them liars. I'm just saying that if you want 100% certainty, then the only way to encrypt email is locally on your own PC. There is no other way, to the best of my knowledge. Federico Miranda Brandao Alves. Apologies if I mispronounced it. Are there grants for those creating solutions? I like cryptography, but there is no demand for it. Vladimir Mishev, nope, I never used encrypted mail. Bear what's already included with big providers. Simple software, simple to implement, simple to use. In my opinion, Vladimir says, I see all digital communications as insecure by default, so no need to bother to hide. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It is what it is. Let me see if I can show you something. Just a second. Once again, Marko Jovanovic, thank you very much. Let me see if I can. Where is my sent mail? Remes. That's not what I wanted. Okay, sorry for taking too long. I was searching for an email. And I'm currently considering how much do I want to show you of this email, which is not really public. Okay, I think I have... Actually, there's too much private stuff in this window. Okay, let's do a screenshot. I don't want to show my private stuff on stream. Okay, so here's the thing. Also, where do I find my private key now that it is generated? You can use the option to automatically attach your private key when you're sending an email. For example, go to compose new email right now. Just open a new email window, and there will be a button. Where is my Thunderbird now? There will be a button, open PGP, next to send and encrypt, and you can attach. Actually, I'm lying. All the way to the right, where is attachment, put a check mark on attach my open PGP public key. So that's how you can send automatically your public key to everyone. And somewhere from the settings, you can actually take it out, but I can't do this right now. I just want to show you something. You can publish it on the public mail server. This will be easier. So at some point, just for fun, at some point I was going to send an email to Richard Stallman, and I went to his personal web page, to see what's his email address. And when I found out what his address is, there was his public PGP key listed there, literally saying, if you want to send me encrypted key, use this key on my web page. Don't trust any of the keys on the internet. Like, none of them are mine. Like, only on my web page you can find my public key. And so I downloaded his key and like imported it to my Thunderbird, and then I wrote an email to him and encrypted it. And I felt like if he is publishing his key, then I suppose that he is using it, right? So he should be able to decrypt my encrypted email. So I sent him an email. And how am I going to cut this for now? I need an editor. Nope. Once again, nope. I'm trying to paint something. Okay, there we go. Just in case if you were ever curious, I don't suppose you are, but what I asked Stallman is how he technically how he uses his email, right? So the dude says that he fetches it as a file via SSH and that he never used POP3 or IMAP. And he typically keeps a message in his rmail file. This is email client inside Emacs, and Emacs uses Emacs sorts files, emails as parts of files. So, for example, you have inbox, that's one file. If you have like my favorite messages folder, that's another file, literally. And inside one file, there are many emails, right? And he typically holds a file until he decides to delete it from there, right? And he may use letter O to put it in another file. That's what he says. But yeah, the fun part is that he fetches a file from the GNU mail server via SSH. So quite a convoluted way to use email, but pretty secure. Cannot be tracked most of the time. I mean, unless you check the logs on GNU server. But yeah. Stevie says it cannot find your public key. Actually, the email address which is on my YouTube, that one does not have a PGP key. I have a different email address. Send me an email to that address which you have on YouTube, and then I will reply to you with my actual private email address, and then you will be able to test it properly. Just the email address on my YouTube is just like for temporary stuff, but it's not a private email address. Just send it to that one. It will arrive to my actual inbox. A few years ago, there was yet another discussion on Twitter about best password manager. My take was that nothing beats post-it notes stuck in the drawer guarded by a well-trained dog. That's kind of that kind of makes sense. I'm a little bit in the Bitwarden boat, as you have probably noticed by now in my browser, and I'm in a long procedure of building. Stevie, I just got your email. Let me just reply and see if you have. Oh, you have attached your encryption key. Let me see if I can discard changes. Encryption key. The attachment appears to be. You can click import. Okay. Accepted. Import. Okay. Okay, I have imported your key that you have attached. And did I import it? That's actually a good question. Do you accept this key for verifying digital signatures and for encrypted messages for all shown email addresses? Accepted. Okay. Oh, I know what I need to do. Okay, reply. Option. Where is encryption? I don't want to show this on stream because it's your private email. There's something strange about your key. It's not offering to me to encrypt email to you. Sorry for taking this long. Account settings, security. I'm a bit puzzled. Okay, let's go to settings, privacy, manage certificates, people. Discards. Oh, I got lost. Pretty much. Let's do it one more time. Save as desktop, open PGP. Where did it go? Edit settings, privacy, certificates, people, import, desktop, certificate files. I can't import it. Oh, I was trying to send with the wrong email address. So silly. So silly mistake. Beginner's mistake. Okay. Sorry for taking too long. I was trying to debug a problem that was actually a non-problem. I was trying to send an encrypted email with an account for which I have not set up encryption at all. So now that you have received an email from me, from my private address, now see if you can just click reply and choose the encrypt option in there. See if that will work. If not, then see if it can offer you a way to fetch a key from a server. If not, it's still attached into my signature. So when you open my email, on the top right corner, you will see that the email is encrypted. It will say open PGP. Received it? Vladimir still here? Vladimir, here is your answer. Probably because we cannot tell when the last time it was changed or if any issue trackers provide upstream support. Yeah, we do have cheaper. We do have cheaper electricity during the night, but we heat with gas, so no electricity needed to keep the apartment warm. It's just heating when I need to be warm. Was the email encrypted now? Let me see. Yeah, now it's encrypted. Let me show. I'm trying to show something on stream without showing anything private. Crap. Okay, sorry about that. I tried to open the box where it says encryption, right? So it is what it is. But yeah, it's encrypted now. Also, Vladimir Mishev, not sure if you are still watching, but I think you do. This was your answer for the question about the VTT test. He does seem to keep an archive, but is non-conventional from what is normal these days. I believe that OpenMandriva is doing automatic pooling from various Git sites. And I think the way that Mandriva is being assembled is by, sorry, I moved the screen. I think they have it fully automated, right? So when the upstream publishes a new version, then their automatic packaging system will grab it to the best of my knowledge, but I might be wrong. It will grab it and it will bundle it into the cooker distribution, the one that is faster rolling than the ROM. And once the packages have lived in cooker for a little bit, then they move it down to ROM, and that's why cooker gets everything like, I suppose, day one, and ROM has a slight delay for when they're getting packages, right? So I believe that Veta test is publishing something in a way that's not particularly Git compatible. Yeah. Well, basically, if you can read this, it's a bit long, and then the discussion branches out, I suppose. Yeah, I'm not reading that now, but if you want, I can copy paste the whole conversation to you and email it to you if you want. If you want it emailed, or just join their chat and see what they said. Stevie says, is there an option to make it automatically attach my public key? When you open, like, compose new email, is it not already attached? When I click new message, when you go to the to the new email composer, you will get this window, right? So in the top right corner, you will see that my open PGP public key is already checked. This means that it will get attached when you click send. If it's already checked for you, then you're good. If it's not already checked, then you will have to find it somewhere in the settings. Let me see if I can find it. Settings, security. Jozozovko, thank you very much for the 10, Jozozovko. Your first time in chat here. What are some apps that must be Flatpaks or should be? Just trying to find out where if I'm making mistakes. Thanks. I suppose I can click a like button on that or not. Or did you? There we go. What are some apps that must be Flatpaks? Okay, so before answering, which distributions, Linux distribution are you using? Because, for example, do you use Discord? So if you use Discord, and when you go to download for Linux, there is a button here, and it will give you two options. One is Deb for Debian, Ubuntu, Mint, Catchy Linux. That is not Debian based. So what you can do, Copy Nemo says my friend. Okay. So you cannot use Deb, and if you download Targz, you will have to unpack it into your folder, and you will run it from there, and it will work. But when the update comes for Discord, then Discord will not run. It will tell you that it is out of date and you must update it. And the way you have to update it is go to the web page, download new Discord, unpack it to your folder, and delete the old one. And it's pretty convoluted, and it's a stupid process. And even if you do have Debian or Ubuntu, the same thing happens with the deb file. You install it with your package manager, and when there is a new version of Discord, and it's fairly often, then Discord will not start. It will ask you to download a new deb file and install a new deb file pretty much manually, right? It's a bit a pain in the ass. So from my perspective, Discord, if you use it, is one of the applications that you should be using as a Flatpak, because Flatpaks automatically update, and Discord team are the ones who are maintaining their own Flatpak package on FlatHub. So when you go to FlatHub Discord, you will see that it's checked mark and it's verified on the discordapp.com website. So FlatHub knows that the owner of this website is the one who is packaging this package. Hello. No. Sorry, there was an intrusion. Vladimir Mishev says, okay, that's more automated than what I'm used to with FreeBSD ports and packages where we still depend on maintainers to update ports source tree and then packages are automated from that. Okay, so what Vladimir has just described is very similar to what we have on Arch Linux. On Arch Linux, you can fetch Discord via pacman, but the problem is when Discord is updated, it is usually updated on the server side and it needs to be updated on the client side as well. So if your package for Arch Linux is out of date and the maintainer of Discord package for Arch Linux has not updated it yet, then you cannot use Discord at all and you must wait for the Arch Linux Discord package maintainer to update it for you, and then you will type the command to pull the new package. Sometimes it's maybe an hour delayed, sometimes it's a full day delayed. So if you cannot use Discord for a full day, then that's a little bit shit. So as an Arch Linux user, this is why I switched to Flatpak, because Flatpak automatically updates because the Discord team is the one who is updating. So, you know, that's the answer to your question. What are some apps that must be Flatpaks? A second application that must be a Flatpak is Bottles. Bottles for Linux. Use Bottles. Okay. I don't know if you use this software, but basically this software gives you a really easy way to manage Wine, to run Windows applications and games, and it has a lot of options that are really easy to use by a normal user. So you don't need to edit config files for Wine. And it has a preparation for all kinds of things, for translating Windows executables to be able to work on Linux, right? So when you go to download, it will offer you a Flatpak version, because the application author is the one who is maintaining their own Flatpak. And they actually want you to use their Flatpak version because this is the version that they are testing properly, right? So on Arch Linux, you can pull Bottles via pacman, but that version is not maintained by the Bottles author, but rather by the Arch Linux Bottles package maintainer, which is perfectly fine. It's just that this guy who is making Bottles, he is only providing support for his own package, which he is making, and that is Flatpak. So if you want Bottles, you will use Flatpak. Another tool that is, in my opinion, better to use as a Flatpak is OBS Studio. So Let me see if I can just show it to you quickly. This is OBS Studio from which I am currently streaming. And I'm just gonna move it away from now for now so it doesn't get in the way. OBS Studio is bundled with pretty much every Linux distribution, and it's a no-brainer to run it from your distribution packaging. Unless if you're on a stable distribution such as Debian, then you will probably be stuck with an obsolete version of OBS, so that's a good chance where you will use Flatpak. However, there is some plugins for OBS which are not available anywhere else other than on FlatHub. And just so it happens, some of these plugins is what I use. One such plugin is called, what is it called? DroidCam. DroidCam is a plugin which runs an application on my smartphone and wirelessly beams the video feed from the camera in my smartphone directly to OBS. So I can literally use my phone and point it in any direction, and you guys who are watching my stream will be able to see on stream what my phone is looking, right? So I don't need to use this camera to show around. This is for some reason only available as a Flatpak. So that's one of the reasons why I use a Flatpak version of OBS. And also there are some other plugins that are also available as Flatpaks for OBS, right? And the best thing about plugins for OBS being available as Flatpaks is the fact that all of these plugins get updated automatically, because otherwise all of these plugins I have to manually go around the websites and check whether or not there are new releases available. So then I would download them, put them into a folder, unpack them, and then I would have a new version. And with Flatpak, everything is automated. This is something that I cannot get with the Arch Linux version of OBS, simply because Arch Linux OBS does not have all of these plugins that I need, while FlatHub does, and that's just how it is with this, right? Also, seems like they should turn Resolve, you mean DaVinci Resolve, into a Flatpak. I guess I could see that. I don't suppose it's here, right? There was something else that I wanted to say. Oh yeah, Brave web browser, not available in the Arch repository. It is available in Arch user repository, but not in actual Arch repository. So I'm using a Flatpak version, which is what you see in front here. I might be able to show you Chrome flags or version, yeah. Linux, you can see it here. Official build, Linux, Brave. It doesn't really say Flatpak anywhere, but you can see that my profile path is var app com Brave browser, and this is proof that this is a Flatpak version. Vladimir Mishev, another off-topic observation, OpenMandriva Plasma 6 Discovery app is extremely well integrated with the operating system and desktop environment, maybe the best I saw until now. I think that's true, except the OpenMandriva guys have told me that Discover is doing the update in a slightly different way than it is recommended for Rome, but I have to check my notes from the chat with them. They did not tell me, they never told me don't use Discover. They just told me that Discover uses a different command to update. But clearly it works, right? OpenMandriva beats SUSE with KDE integration and default config any day. I can believe that. Yeah, I don't have experience with SUSE. I want to answer to Jozo Zovko something else. Where is my terminal? Terminal here. AnyDesk. This is something that I needed at one point really quickly. You know what that is, right? For remote desktop accessing other people's computers to help them to manage their computer. So I pulled this from Flatpak, and I think it was really practical. Discord, already told you this. OBS Studio, DroidCam, plugin, movie. Let me just change the font size. Wait. I have some problems with font size. I hope this is readable. I hope this is big enough. So this is something that I was testing. When I want to do a quick web browser test and I don't really plan to use it, I just fetch it from FlatHub. That's the easiest way, especially if it's not available on Arch repository. This was a game that wasn't available on Arch repository. It's quite cool. You have small rabbits that jump on top of each heads and then they die. It's very fun. It can be played with 4 players locally on the same keyboard mouse controller. Literally, you can have four friends at the same screen, and it is very fun. Actually, I'm gonna show it to you. So this is Jump and Bump. Let me play some music. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to use one part of the keyboard and step over the tree with the rabbit which you are planning to use, right? And then another person will use a different set of keys and take their rabbit, right? And then a third person will use a third input method. In this case, it's mouse. And as soon as you jump over the tree, that means that the third player is in the game, right? And now we have 3 players, and then we can go, and the game starts. And you can see I'm moving with one rabbit on the top, and another rabbit is here. And when we come here, there we go. I have killed him. You just step on his head and he's dead. And I have 1 point, right? I'm winning. I think it ends with 99 points. And we have a third bunny here. You can jump into the water. The ice is slippery, so you will be slipping on that one. And there we go. I killed him. Basically, it's a really fun game for playing with the friends, because you get a lot of laughs, like really a lot of laughs. You just kill each other, and it's a whole lot of fun for home parties. Another web browser. This is open source free software version of Diablo 1 video game. which I like to have automatically updated whenever the update comes out. So that's why I'm using the Flatpak version, because I think it's not in Arch user repository. Fedora Media Writer, I think that one also is not in Arch user repository. So there is a lot of these things. Not Arch user repository. Sorry, I'm lying. I'm when I say Arch, I mean the main repository, the base, or the extras. So apologies if I mention Arch user repository again. I never mean that one. If it's not in base or extras, then I fetch from FlatHub, and I use this USB stick writer a lot to burn Linux ISO images, right? This is a media player. I have no idea why I fetched it from FlatHub. I was probably just testing it, so it's quicker to test things through FlatHub. Telegram, I am pretty sure that the Arch version wasn't up to date in some moment, and then I fetched the. You don't have to really have it up to date all the time, but I just fetched it because Telegram recommends a Flatpak version. So I said, like, why not? If they are guaranteeing this to work properly, then why not? And also Raspberry Pi Imager, not available on Arch repository, right? Vladimir says, I didn't try Kubuntu in a while, but OpenMandriva beats SUSE integrate. Oh, sorry, I read that already. To be honest, in OpenMandriva, I used only system update shortcut, and CLI DNF. I am judging Discover by its speed when changing what we are looking at, and the availability of general apps and Plasma KDE related goodies. Fine. Stevie says, am I safe by just backing up my public key from PGP key manager? Stevie, can you read from the documentation how to export? How can I export my secret or public key? Okay, let's click on that and see the procedure. Use the Open PGP Key Manager, which you can find in the Global Tools menu bar. Find the key. Let me zoom in a little bit. Find the key that you would like to export and click it to select it. Then use the Windows menu bar to open the file menu and select either export public key or backup the secret key, depending on what you require. The Open PGP Key Manager also allows you to export public keys of your correspondence. So basically, this is the answer to your question. You can do it from PGP Key Manager. Backup secret key, you should do that, in my opinion, and you should put it outside of your computer on a USB drive, or just back it up somewhere so you can import it back into your computer after you format everything someday. And considering the export public key, when you do that, you can freely publish it on your web page if you have one, and tell people, if you're sending me email, you can use this public key to send me encrypted email. You don't have an option to backup secret key? Let me check on my end. Settings. Where is settings? Okay, privacy, manage, what is it called? Use Open PGP Key Manager. Key Manager. Certificate Manager. Wait a second. Where is Key Manager? Global Tools menu bar. Aha, Tools. Key Manager. Okay, I found it. Key Manager. Okay. And I select my key and right click on it. Export public keys to file. Send public keys by email. It says then use the Windows menu bar to open file. Backup secret keys to a file. It's here. Stevie, you need to click on your email address in the key manager just once, and then you click on file, and then you click on backup secret key to a file. Can you not do that? Yeah, it took me a moment as well, because at first I right clicked, but then I read, look, it says use the window menu bar to open the file menu. So instructions. It's not that I know everything. It's just reading. Okay. My water is almost at the end. I should make 2 cups next time. How long have we been online? What's the time anyway? 3 hours. We crossed 3 hours. I think we are going to end the stream now. Guys, let's go to sleep. At least here in Europe, right? Thank you very much, Jozo Zovko, for the 10 of the US, and Marko Jovanovic for the 6 of the Europeans. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks, Stevie, for a lot of questions. It was fun. I actually very much like the topic of email encryption. So if you feel like sending me another test just for the sake of testing, like, go ahead. It's okay. Vladimir Mishev, if you want in on the secret society of encrypted emails, feel free to join in. Send me an email to my email in my YouTube profile, and then I'm going to reply to you with my actual email. I just don't want spammers to find my actual email. The email I sent to Stevie is the email address which I only use with actual people and nobody else. Like when I register to anything that's not people, I use a completely different email. So the one that is using encryption, that's just for people. Meat Lotion, thanks Dart for great stream, and Vladimir Mishev also thanking, and thank you guys for hanging out for so long. I mean, 3 hours is quite a lot, and I just do this on a whim, right? And next stream is on Sunday with LPIC 1 lesson 2. So that's what's going on Sunday, and tomorrow I might be able to publish my opinion on the Ghosty terminal. That's what I was planning for today, but somehow I ended up making the notes video, right? So it is what it is, right? Let's close the queue on notes and pull this out of the way and switch to this one. And yeah, thanks a lot, and good night and lakunoch, and I'm gonna see you